Greetings, everybody. I'm Tara, and this is Tara4Truth. Y'all knew I had to come on and talk about a few things. It is really gotten to that point that I've been feeling the spirit move me to do a new Tara4Truth. It's been quite some time, more than a year, since I did my last Tara4Truth. And some things have been pressing upon my heart that I really need to talk about. So here we are. Today is February 5th. The president is going to do his State of the Union finally. Nancy Pelosi had tried to obstruct that, but she could only obstruct it for so long. We want to hear what our president has to say. There's a few topics that I have to talk about. The first one is pro-life. Most of you know, if not all of you, I am very pro-life. I do not believe in abortion at all. If the life of the mother is in jeopardy, I think they need to do all they can to save her and the baby. Anybody that does have an abortion willfully, just to rid themselves of an unwanted pregnancy, of an unwanted child, is going to answer to our Lord. And that's how it is. Now, you can put me in some kind of a basket on that if you want. But the truth is that God will account for this in the last judgment. And probably in the temporal judgment, he will account for that when you die. God have mercy on your soul if you have an abortion. There are other ways of dealing with not being able to take care of a child. And that would be the only reason I could see to give up a child would be if you were in a situation in your life and where you felt like you couldn't take care of that child. There are plenty of people out there that would adopt babies. I was never able to have children, and I would have loved to adopt at various points in my life. I would have adopted children. In fact, I did, in my heart, adopt a young man, and he's a blessing in my life, whether he knows that or not. He really is. So, New York and Virginia and whatever other states are passing these late-term abortion laws where they're repealing certain parts of previous laws so that women can have late and even right up to the minute of birth abortions. That is more than wrong. If this had been the law in 1967, I would not be here. I was a preemie. I was born way too early. I was way too small. And that's the case with a lot of babies. And even at the 5th month of pregnancy, they have been able to healthfully take care of these children to the point that they become viable adults someday. They live and they thrive thanks to modern medicine, and we do amazing things with modern medicine. So I see no reason at all ever to have an abortion. It's against God's law. They've been trying to take our rights for some time. They've been slowly nipping away at our rights. And in that, there is a double standard. We have rights of humane treatment of animals, and yet we don't have rights for humane treatment of children inside the womb. That is so wrong to me. Moving on. This week I heard a development from the Judicial Watch, and they are going after crooked politicians, finally. So, when I said before in a Tara4Truth that we'll see what happens, because they're not going to give up on prosecuting Benghazi. They're not going to give up on prosecuting Hillary Clinton for her emails on the private server that was absolutely against the law, and she knew it was against the law. Intent. Look, if I walk into a courtroom and I have broken the law, but I didn't intend to break the law, they wouldn't care less. They would prosecute me, and she needs to be prosecuted for so many of the wrongdoings. Uranium One, Benghazi, the email scandal, so much of this she absolutely needs to be prosecuted for, and so many other people do too, including people that were in the Department of Justice and the FBI. These people need to answer to the American people, and they need to be punished. I'm being like Rush Limbaugh, pounding on the table here. So, on a more personal level, spirituality and politics, if you're a Catholic, or if you're an Episcopalian, or if you're Orthodox or Anglican or whatever faith you happen to be, and you're on the wrong side of these political agendas, in other words, you're on the left, you need to take a good hard look at what you really stand for. Because people who stand for something, they don't let other people push them into believing things like socialist agendas, Marxist agendas. This is not a socialist country, and I pray that to God that it will never be a socialist country. So I want to talk a little bit about me personally, just for a moment. I have a calling. And my calling, I believe, is to a contemplative life of prayer. And I have examined and had correspondence with several orders, communities. One was the Order of Julian of Norwich, which I feel very strongly that I could have fit in there. And, who knows what's going to happen in the future? Who knows what God's will is but God? But as of yet, it has not worked out to where I could even visit the order yet. But I am very respectful of that order. Also, I corresponded and actually had a phone conversation with one of the ladies from Swanee, the convent there in Swanee, and that was not for me. And it was quite apparent during the phone call that it wasn't for me. So what I'm doing with God's will in my life, I'm praying many, many hours a day. I have been looking for a job, and I haven't found one yet. And I have moved from Texas to Idaho, and I haven't let my beliefs or my faith falter during this whole trip. I've settled here in Idaho now, and become acquainted with a few of the people in the Episcopal diocese here. Um, my beliefs are pretty cut and dried. I believe the Bible. I believe what the Bible has to say. Uh, as far as I know, it's been impressed upon my heart, and I haven't worn makeup very much in the last couple years. It's been impressed upon my heart that um, I don't need it. Now, I know I have it on today, and that's because I'm doing a Tara4Truth, and I don't want you to see how terrible I really look without makeup on. Age is not necessarily good to us. I don't wear much jewelry. I haven't got a set um, piece of attire as of yet, and mainly that's because I have applied to a new community, the community of solitude, and I'm in the process of going through their procedure for admittance as a novate into the community of solitude. So, you know, I want to talk a little bit about churches and what I believe as far as paths. You know, the Bible's very specific on some things and most things. If it's in the Bible, I believe it's God's truth, and therefore it's my truth. Um, People don't understand the Bible, people don't read the Bible, and a lot of people just say, oh, it's not my thing. And other people are backpedaling. You say Bible, and I'm not a big fan, and run the other way. I hope that those people will find God and God will find them. And I pray that every day. Also, I believe that all churches have some truth, but that none of them have all the truth. And that includes the Catholic Church and the Episcopalian Church. I think that the Catholic Church has gone through some real struggles. And that is the main reason why I am not converting to Catholicism, is because of the struggles that they've had. But I forgive them for it. And I still have a deep reverence and respect for the Catholic Church. I am going to become an Episcopalian. This year I should be going through all of the indoctrination and everything that I need to know to become confirmed by the bishop into the Episcopalian Church. I do think I'm being called to a holy life of solitude, and I hesitate to use the word mystic because of the connotations that surround that. Many of you know that I have been in quite a few different religions, I was even a member of an order at one time, but life happens, and I fell away, and I don't know what happened to the other people that were in the order. What I do know is that in my life today, prayer is of vital importance. And I pray 4 times a day out of this book, the Hour by Hour. I pray the daily office, and I read from the Divine Office out of the Book of Common Prayer. And that includes lessons both in the Old and the New Testament. And also, I'm familiarizing myself with all the books of the Apocrypha. So, reading, contemplation, prayer is in my daily life. Also, I'd like to say that like I say, I have a great reverence and respect for the Catholic Church. I do pray the Rosary. And recently I've been praying that every day, sometimes two, three, four times a day. Um, that's what contemplation is all about. So if you would like me to pray for you and you would like to get in on my prayer list, I do the people's prayers once a day. And I'd be happy to pray for you. If you'd like me to come and speak, please email me at Tara4Truth@gmail.com, and I would be more than happy to come and speak for you. I was an ordained minister through the Universal Life Church, which I know that doesn't mean a whole lot to a lot of people, but it does mean something to me. And I have been chaplain for a particular fraternal organization that I belong to. I don't hold any of those offices now. I am more than happy to address any topic that you'd like. If you want to put that down in the comments, that would be great. And I'd like to give a shout out to Thomas the Hermit, to the members of the Community of Solitude. I am praying for you. I'd also like to shout out to Diamond and Silk. Haven't seen y'all lately, but I will look you up. And Deplorable Deb. I hope she's still out there doing her thing as well. So God bless, and I'll see you next time.